Carole Wayne was born in Chicago, Illinois, but her early life was nothing close to glamorous. She grew up in a working-class neighborhood, but there was something special about the Wayne family that made them different from the people around them. You see, although the Waynes were not rich in money, they were rich in talent because Carole and her sister Nina were entertainers at heart. As soon as their mother noticed their potential, she got them enrolled in ballet school, then an ice skating school. It got to a point where Carole and her sister started to feel pressured because they had to practice very often. The sisters would usually wake up at 5 in the morning and skate for 3 hours before school, and they'd skate again after school. Carole's mother was determined to position them for professional skating opportunities, but while she was doing this, Carole and her sister missed out on their childhood. The duo would later get hired to work with ice capades, but what seemed like an answered prayer soon turned into a nightmare. After they got hired, Carole and her sister decided to drop out of college to pursue their dreams, but soon enough, Carole got into a gruesome skating accident that damaged her knees and instantly ended her career. She was left jobless and confused about the next step to take. Thankfully, things started looking up when she decided to pursue a career as an actress. Hollywood welcomed her with open arms shortly after, and she began to build a career for herself. But as expected, her journey in Hollywood was not smooth sailing. Chasing stardom. When Carole Wayne stepped into Hollywood, she caught the attention of television viewers for several reasons. From her looks to her passion for her craft, Carole Wayne was determined to make it big in Hollywood. Her journey kicked off with a string of television guest appearances that left a lasting impression. She graced the screens of shows like I Spy, where she took on the role of the main character in the episode Trouble with Temple. With each year that passed by, her career grew steadily, and so did her fan base. After entertaining her fans for years and putting smiles on the faces of TV viewers for years, she finally landed the role that changed her life. Through her appearances on The Tonight Show, she became a household name, and from 1960s to 1980s. For 14 years, she was the darling of late-night television, capturing hearts and making audiences laugh night after night. Unfortunately, the spotlight that shined so brightly on her dimmed when her role on The Tonight Show as the buxom matinee lady was eventually reduced. The show later cut her off completely, and once again, she was left with nothing to fall back on. Despite her efforts to revive her career, she was unable to. It was said that her career struggles would later lead to an addiction that she struggled to overcome, and the shocking part of all this was the role her son had to play in her addiction. In the 1980s, as Carole Wayne was trying to cope with her career issues, her son thought it wise to introduce her to something to ease her pain. He introduced her to clove cigarettes, and within a short period, she became addicted. Smoke became her constant companion, a habit that raised eyebrows in the stores and restaurants she frequented. Sadly, this addiction also drained her financially, and it got so bad that in December of that fateful year, Carole Wayne declared bankruptcy. She claimed an income of $0, and people began to wonder where all her money went to. Sadly, her addiction to alcohol, cigarettes, and other vices were responsible for the state of her finances. Her friends and family members begged her to seek help, to check herself into a rehab facility, but unfortunately, she was unable to get help before death came knocking. Her mysterious death. On that fateful day, January 14, 1985, the news was filled with a disturbing story about the actress. Carole Wayne's lifeless body had been discovered in the serene waters off the coast of a Mexican resort in Manzanillo. On that day, it was as though the entertainment industry was at a standstill, and people began to wonder how this talented star wound up dead. According to the reports, it all started when she was on a vacation at the luxurious Las Hadas Hotel with friend Edward Durston. Witness accounts from hotel employees painted a picture of two friends having the time of their lives, indulging in the pleasures of a beachside resort. It seemed like they were having fun, but as the departure day dawned, a disconcerting turn of events occurred. Hotel workers claimed that they got into a heated disagreement, causing a delay in their journey home. In a puzzling twist, the duo decided to switch hotels, opting for the Playa de Santiago. But Carole, reportedly upset by this abrupt change, stormed off, leaving Durston behind. Things got even more complicated and strange when Durston checked out of the Playa de Santiago and relocated to another hotel, his actions raising more questions than answers. The following day, he headed to the airport, luggage in tow, but Wayne was nowhere to be seen. Instead, he informed airline staff that she would collect her belongings later and returned home. Then, hours later, the shocking discovery: the lifeless body of Carole Wayne, a woman whose career had once been adorned with bright lights and laughter. Her time of death was estimated to be between 36 to 48 hours before her body was found, and no traces of drugs or alcohol tainted her system. Her demise was ruled as accidental drowning. Her tragic death was unexpected and shocking, especially because there were so many questions left unanswered. Some suspected that her life was taken while others concluded that she truly drowned. No one knows for sure what happened to her. It's been decades since her unfortunate death, and she is still remembered for her ability to effortlessly deliver humor while connecting with audiences on a personal level. Whether playing quirky characters or her iconic role as the matinee lady on The Tonight Show, Carole Wayne left an indelible mark in the hearts of viewers.